Okay, so let's go on to the reader questions we've got. We've only got two this week. The first one is from Kieran, and he said that he was talking to his friend about DeFi cryptos,
Yeah.
and his friend mentioned Cardano, and he just wanted your opinion on it.
Okay, let me just bring up the charts and have a look.
So I should just say to people, like Cardano is a DeFi crypto that's kind of like a competitor to Ethereum. Would that be right?
Yeah. So Cardano is actually a very solid project. If I'm not mistaken, I believe one of the developers from Ethereum actually started it. So
Right.
yeah, so it is a solid project. I would definitely consider. This is something I would consider investing in. It's just that right now it's had a huge run up. I mean, we're back to pretty much its all-time high, which is $1.40 at the chart that I'm looking at. And right now we're at $1.10. So you could perhaps argue that it could go up and revisit its all-time high. And of course, right now, with the fact that Ethereum is quite congested, if you are wanting to make a transaction or send some Ethereum or from one wallet to another, you would have to pay quite a high amount in fees. And of course, Cardano has much lower fees at the moment, and it's more scalable than Ethereum is. And
Yeah.
that could potentially be the reason why it's rallied so much.
Because because the fees for using things on Ethereum is really high, so that people could look at Cardano and say, like, the fees are much lower, I'll use that. But if I'm right, like the ecosystem on Cardano and the tech is a few years behind Ethereum, so it's kind of
so I would say Ethereum. I mean, they have huge upgrades coming up, so Ethereum is trying to solve a scalability issue, and with the scalability issue, once you improve that, then fees will go back to a few pennies or even $1. But right now, of course, as it is congested and the scalability issues have not been fixed, that's the reason why we're paying up to $25 sometimes to make a single transaction on Ethereum, and that's what's pushed people to these other platforms.
Yeah. So from what I read of Cardano, it seemed like one of their focuses as an organization or a business is trying to sort of move into like the unbanked kind of areas, like in Africa. They've been doing a lot of trying to get a lot of projects up and going in Africa and other places where like people might not have access to just traditional banking. So kind of like the original promise of Bitcoin and other crypto. Yeah.
I mean,
so like
a lot of these projects are trying to do that. I mean, as we mentioned before, like nowadays you can buy, store, sell cryptocurrencies on your mobile device. So essentially, you could argue that any of these cryptocurrencies could be used for that purpose. Perhaps one of the advantages that Cardano has is that it's the price of per coin is so low, so people misunderstand. They think that maybe Cardano could turn into the next Bitcoin or next Ethereum and go up to $1,000 per coin, but it's just the fact that Cardano has a much higher supply.
That's really important.
If you think about it, if Cardano was to ever hit maybe $1,000, I think that would the market cap would be higher than all the money in the world, sort of thing.
Right. Yeah. And that's just because so with Bitcoin, there's only ever going to be 21 million Bitcoins. Yeah. It's like encoded into the protocol. Yeah. But with Cardano, that number is far greater.
I think it's in the billions, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. So that's one of the reasons why the price is lower. Yeah. Yeah, when you see people talking about how high the Cardano price can go, like on YouTube and stuff, it seems like, well, you see some people talking about $20, which is a lot higher than it's at now. I think it's less than $1, is it? Or is it higher than $1?
So right now it's $1, and the market cap is 34 billion.
Yeah.
So at $20, that would be around 600 billion. $700 billion market cap.
So getting on to and Bitcoin's at $1 trillion now. So yeah, it's just like keeping that stuff in mind, like with your expectations about how much higher it can go in price. Exactly. But yeah, I guess like you were saying, it's been on a run recently, but if you were convinced about the long term potential of it, then like you'd have, like even if you bought in now and it went down, if you're holding for a couple of years, it's kind of
Yeah, yeah.
that kind of project. And it is, I guess, it is a few years behind Ethereum. So, but then it is, that means
Yeah,
it's
there are a
also
lot of people who do not like Cardano because they're trying to compete with Ethereum, and one of the developers actually worked for Ethereum, so he started his own project, and for that reason, a lot of people who are massive fans of Ethereum don't really like the creator of Cardano. But that these are like infighting within the community that happens. I mean, if you believe in technology, that there's no one stopping you from investing in both. Investing in Ethereum
yeah.
and investing in Cardano.
And also, Polkadot's another project that
Yeah.
was started by an Ethereum founder as well,
Yeah,
isn't it?
Polkadot is very impressive. I do quite like Polkadot, especially with the partnerships they have coming up, and they currently have. There are huge crypto funds who have invested in Polkadot, and they do see this going much higher. Of course, this is not a coin recommendation. I'm just saying what I've heard people
Yeah,
discuss. But Polkadot does seem quite exciting. Yeah.
that's interesting. Maybe we can talk about that more in the future.
Yeah.